And a very good evening, all. Welcome to the pool fans around the world. We are at the Rio All Suite Hotel and Casino for CSI's presentation of the WPA Predator World 10 Ball. And you have not died and gone to pool heaven. You've got the best seat in the house. And alongside George Teache, I'm Jim White. We're going to be bringing you all the action from this quarterfinal matchup. 128 started, George. Then there were 8.
And that's right, down to 8. And these two are for your viewing pleasure. Fedor GORST breaking out first. Fedor, one of the hottest players in the pool. He's played 8 of these events and cashed in all but 1. He's won 2 in Arizona, 1 in Ohio, and he's broken the balls with, looks like a dry break, but the one ball is going to dress up, and Denis GRABE will be coming to the table. Denis GRABE from Estonia.
Yeah, that's one thing. I've done a lot of matches on this main table, and I can tell you it has not been very sympathetic to the breaker. And it doesn't matter who that breaker has been.
I could hear it on that break. It just didn't sound like some of the others.
Denis making his way to the match table here. He's only had about a 10-minute break because we were down to the last 32 here on Friday, and well, he finished a little later than Fedor did, so not a lot of time to settle in and prepare yourself for, to this point, the biggest match he's going to play in the event.
He's got a shot here. Denis just got off his last match against Kuwan Lin and defeated him 10 to 6. And now he's finding himself against Fedor GORST.
And a useful shot there from Denis. Now got this rack at his mercy. And so important because on paper, Fedor has to be considered a favorite to progress. And he has been one of the in-form players all year as Fedor GORST. I think both he and certainly Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, nobody's ever done what he's doing and looking to do even more.
Yeah, he is. He really is. If he can continue his quest here for this tournament, he will have the 8-ball, the 9-ball, and the 10-ball championships all in one.
Unprecedented. And he's on our other table.
He's on table 2. Denis, to get to this point right here, has not Fedor has not lost a match here, but let's give you Denis's results. He also has not lost a match. He started out against Ernesto Dominguez, Evan Lunda, Jan van Lierup, Emil Andre Gangflat, and Wu Kun Lin. The last 32, he won 10-4 and then just got off his 10-6 win. And looking to take the first and opening rack after Fedor's dry break.
One thing about coming straight from another match onto the main table here is you don't really have time to think about the match too much. It's everything is already, the gears are already working. You just get right back into the fray, right back into the saddle. And that's exactly what he's done here.
He's looking awfully good in these last 2 balls. And this 10 ball to take the opening rack. In this all-important quarterfinal.
Up off the cue a little quick, but no danger. 10-ball deposited, and Denis opens his account. 1-0. It's a race to 10 now. A little longer race than the previous days. You get your way to the last 32, and The races have increased, and we are in Vegas. And given that we're in Vegas, the celebrities are coming out. Mr. Joe Rogan. Well, welcome, Joe. Hope you're going to enjoy the action here tonight.
Yeah, Joe had he did a podcast on Fedor GORST, or with Fedor GORST, excuse me. And that was heard around the world, and what a podcast it was. Got a lot of great information out of that from both Mr. Rogan and Fedor GORST. Denis to break. Let's listen for that sound there that we heard last time.
Over to the side. The players will play around with the area they're breaking to see if they enjoy any success. Ball in the side. And there's the 8-ball coming to Fedor GORST's aid.
And you know that old saying, hook behind the 8? It's exactly what he is. Directly behind the 8. Push to a jump, or will he push to where he might be able to go rail first? Looks like he's aiming for the rail first option.
He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to make it too tricky, because Fedor will have the option of putting him back in.
GORST, it's your option?
He may have a shot here. It's so close. It's so hard to tell.
Yeah, he was leaning. It's close.
Yeah. Looking at it again. Yeah, I was going to say, he's been playing a lot of one pocket of late, and this shot is in his playbook now.
Is it ever? And what a shot. Lands on the 2. Worth another look.
And we're getting it.
I'm going to hit the highlight reel right away.
We've been doing a lot of that today, and we're going to do a lot more of it through these quarterfinals, and especially in our semifinals tomorrow, folks, and then the final tomorrow evening of this Predator WPA World 10-Ball Championship. Oh, he might not like, he's okay. He barely snuck it by the 10-ball for a shot on the 3. And now this rack looks pretty open. All he has to do is hold his cue ball between the 10 and the 9 for the 4. And then from there, everything opens up. Now, I don't know if I should say this. Mark held the gun to my head and said, pick a player. You just one. I said, no, I'll pick 3 or 4. I won't pick one. But he made me pick one, and that was my choice. I'll play no favorites, though, but that was my choice. He's gotten pretty straight here, so he's just going to have to roll this.
Yep. Trust your stroke. Trust the table.
How sweet he hits the ball. He just, you know, it just exactly where he wanted it. Down the rail and back for the 7.
Pure.
Yeah. His fundamentals are just so good. He delivers that cue so straight through the ball. Great follow through, no hitch in his stroke. It's just poetry in motion.
It's young players like GORST that ilk that have really raised the bar on
Yeah.
pool globally. They're getting better and younger.
More fit athletes, true athletes. Well, Fedor got here by defeating Emil Andre Gangflat 8-1, then Yoshihiro Kitatani 8-1, Oscar Dominguez 8-4. He defeated Vietnam's champion 10-1, and then Jan van Leerup 10-7.
And 1-1 as our head referee, John Lehman, secures the rack. Fedor GORST will again try to take it apart. Beautiful arena here. Number 1 match table. Again, as you look around, and Mika Immonen, how much did that seat cost you?
Ozzie Reynolds next to him, and Karim Bilaj, CEO of Predator, next to him. And right behind Joe Rogan is Christina Tkach, our little commentator this week. We've enjoyed having her in the booth.
Yeah, Karim just giving Joe a little insight. I understand he knows what side of the cue to chalk up.
Yes, he does. He's had some lessons in his podcast. He has praised Max Everly for great lessons here in Vegas, and he's well, I think he has a one show where he breaks and runs a 10-ball rack.
I know he does the best Earl Strickland imitation of any I've ever seen.
I'll shoot your liver out with a Mucci, full cue Mucci. I love Earl.
Good break, that one from Fedor. And if this 2 goes by the 7, it looks close. What an opportunity he's bought himself.
It looks to go by, and he'll come right around the 10-4 for position on the 3. Try to end up right where he's at. He could also draw it straight to the side rail and back again. He has just enough angle to do that. But if he can get around those balls on the bottom, he's much better off. Fedor likes that smooth stroke. He just bumped the 4. Says, I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to give myself a shot. These 2 players, as he decides what to shoot here, have actually met 9 times since 2017, with Fedor winning 4 of those 9, and of course Denis winning the other 5. Their last meeting was in Ohio, where Fedor defeated Denis 8-0 in the Predator Pro Billiard tournament.
Yeah, those sort of defeats you don't forget.
No. When you're skunked, they're hard to forget.
Cued that one beautifully. Keeping the white in the middle of the table, eliminating all the other colors from the equation. Little trickier shot on the 4, but again, he's bought himself this chance, and the natural path, he can take that cue ball up for the 5 that he's cueing over right now.
Just so sweet, such a sweet touch. Speed's perfect. Angle is outstanding. But another match that Denis won't forget is right here in this arena in 2020. He defeated Fedor 7-6. Tight match.
You can tell watching Fedor go through the colors here. He works so hard on honing his fundamentals, wants everything to become muscle memory. And that allows him to maintain that high level of concentration and doesn't have to worry about what he's doing. He just lets it happen.
And complete confidence. Long shot, short shot, it doesn't matter. He's using the window between the 8-10. Eight ball goes to the side or to the corner, either side. He's got 4 pockets for the same, which is the easiest to get to. He picked one not of the 4. He picked it up in the corner, straight in for a stop shot. Good view of the Predator balls, the Arcos, the Arcadia cloth, the Apex table, the 9-footer. And good view of Fedor GORST taking game number 3 for a 2-1 lead.
And looking robotic doing it. And we're going to take a short break, folks. Don't go away. And we're back. Referee John Lehman just setting the balls together with the arrow rack. GORST 2-1 in front. And dropped the first one, so he has definitely seized momentum back on his side.
Playing the 1 ball in the side pocket on the left there. Little short, there goes the 10 on the break. It does not count, it will be respotted, but it counts as a regular object ball. He'll continue to shoot. No early 10s, no 10s on the break. WPA rules.
Yeah, and the 6 slithered up that cushion into the top left corner as well. And he had a very anxious look to see if the 1 is available because it's close. Between the 4 and the 5, if he can get through to the 1, 2 is near the opposite corner pocket.
Boy, I'm sure he's tempted to spin it in, but he's going to have to soft spin it, and there's no position on the deuce on the other side of the table. Oh, he could see the whole ball. Interesting. What an opening. Figuring out his problems, where he has to go and how he has to get there. Cue ball will probably come straight towards the 10 off the 2 for the 3 in the side. Oh, he kept it in the corner there for the corner. GORST is showing me that he prefers corner pockets to side pockets.
Yeah, not straightforward here from the 3 to the 4. think he just needed to get into that cue ball a little more than he did. He'd like to have been straighter on this 3.
Players are on a 30-second shot clock, 60 seconds after the break, and they have 1 extension per player per rack. Fedor just took his extension, so we'll not have one for the remainder of this rack. Just center pocket. Just center pocket.
Just center
Just
pocket.
center pocket. He makes it look so easy. And then slides between the 2 balls, nibbles them both, and gets perfect on the 4.
Denis sitting in his chair looking way too comfortable over there. And Fedor doing his utmost to help him stay.
Well, Fedor will be happy to just let him sit there. The young 33-year-old from Estonia. See how he handles this. I imagine he'll come in tight to where he is now. Wrap out of the corner. Make sure to avoid the 10.
Yeah, he'll just keep the white in the middle. He'll just keep the white in the middle of the table, George. Keep it simple.
This would be the first break and run of the game of the set.
Boy, he is a picture of concentration right now.
And perfect position on the 10 ball.
And he has taken 3 of the first 4 racks. A 3-1 lead. And very quickly, Denis GRABE going to have a break.
And I guess we'll stay with you. There's $250,000 worth of prize funds here.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a quick break too, George. So we'll be back after a couple minutes, guys.
Folks, remember, we love these players, so come on. When they do something nice rounds, come applause for them, folks. Show your appreciation during the match, especially when we come back from commercial. Thank you.
And there's a good shot of Joe Rogan. Hello, Joe. Mika Immonen right next to him. Player of the decade in 1990, I think it was 2000.
Yeah, Joe, a big pool fan. And next to Mika, Ozzie Reynolds and Karim Belhaj, the principals for CSI and Predator respectively. And boy, what a partnership they have formed, bringing you events like this. We just finished the Las Vegas Open 10 ball. Now the WPA, and there's the principal for Alpha Coin, just sat next to Karim. Esteban Robles.
That would be him.
It's all the dignitaries in the front row. And there's a colorful gentleman, Ravi, in the front row.
I've known him for many years, many years. He is the best pool fan you'll ever meet.
He's a local here. I remember when I used to live in Henderson, I used to see Ravi all the time at all the events, and all the players know him. A lot of the fans know him, and you don't forget him, that's for sure. Applause welcoming players back. It's a 3-1 advantage to Fedor GORST. And settling in, rack number 5. You know, the beauty of where Joe Rogan is sat, having Mika Immonen right there, you know he's getting play-by-play.
I totally agree.
Dry break this time.
Fedor GORST is sponsored by Q-Tech. As we look at his sponsors on his shirt. Nice.
Well, I can't say enough about that shot. He's been sat in his chair for about 15 minutes. And he comes out of his chair looking at a one like that, knocks it in, and look where he finishes on the 2.
Extension. Extension, please.
Perfect. Perfect. Denis GRABE, as you can see by his shirt, is sponsored by Predator and Town Tips. One of our main sponsors here for this event is Kamui.
Well, you're tall, Denis, just not quite that tall.
That's quite the extension.
Definitely not the easiest layout that Denis has ever seen.
Especially with all ball fouls. He's got to be very careful. And look how
did about as well, George, as he could have asked there.
Oh, ball in hand shape. Look how nice the 5 ball sits to get to the 6.
Yeah, because the 6 is awkward just above the 9. And that's a good spot, George. That 5 is sitting nice. If Denis is already eyeing that up from the 5 to the 6 right now. That's the hurdle.
Well, now he can't just stop it there. He's going to have to travel the cue ball, but it looks like it travels 2 rails right between the 6 and the 9. Does he take a chance or just get to where he needs to get to cut it in?
I think he's just going to try and get to where he needs to get to avail that 6. That's a little short. That's a little short of what would be ideal position. Still cuttable, but
he's calling the cut.
More missable now. Knowledgeable crowd in attendance, as you'd expect. Appreciative of that shot because that was far from easy.
Well, he started out with a tougher shot than this. And he's making it look easy. And it definitely isn't.
It just got a little tougher.
Yes, it did.
He's smiling. He's too straight on this 8. So he's not going to be able to get as close to that 9 as he would have liked. Try and cheat the pocket a bit.
And he did rather well. Came out off the rail. Give himself a good shot at getting that cue ball back down here for the 10 in either corner pocket. But really, he only has to come down past the side pockets to have a good shot. And he chose to follow the ball, and so he's done the heavy lifting. Now Fedor with a cut on the 9, missed it by a bit too.
Caught it way too thick.
Yeah. This is no gimme. Big chance for Denis there. After such a nice rack. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, he couldn't hit this one any better.
No.
Nice control of the white. And 4-1 the lead. Denis definitely had his chances there. And he's going to try and stay in the moment, stay in the present. Fedor, I'd like to be looking at more 10s like that one.
Makes him look easy. And if he can put the cue ball there, they will be. Good look at the arena, showing the sponsors. Shows off the players in a nice light behind them. It's a great looking arena. Our table 2 streaming table has last year's arena. It looks pretty nice over there. But this LED looks great. The fans in the seats up there are courtesy of the BCA World Championships, BCA Pool League World Championships, and the USA National Championships. All league players from around the world and around the country gathered here to watch these pros, take pictures with them, autographs, get to know them, and he makes the 9 ball on the side, wide open on the 1, in nice opening position.
Well, I'm just having a look just to try and give an update of the scores from the other tables, and I'm not showing anything from the Sanchez-Ruiz match, and Aloysius Yap. It still says 0-0 on my score sheet. I don't know if you've got anything any different, George.
I'll bring it up.
But we're 4-1 here. That's confirmed. Still to come tonight, 2 more quarterfinal clashes. Ko Ping Chung, the middle of the Ko brothers, is going to be up against Josh Filler, and isn't he playing well?
Oh, he's playing very well, and Ko Ping Chung is our 2019 champion in this event, the very first one we brought back. And
then a man that I think a lot of eyes are on, the lone American left, Shane Van Boning, up against Ekland Kachi.
That's a great match, and Shane actually had 2 opening matches where he had to come from behind to win the match.
Just systematically going through these balls as he's been doing almost from the outset. seizing every opportunity, and it's looking a lot like it's going to be a 5-1 lead. You know, when you see all these great players, players like Fedor GORST and Josh Filler, Shane Van Boning, Sanchez Ruiz, you know, you wonder, well, what separates them? Because he looks unbeatable. He does nothing wrong. It's just those little hiccups that sometimes materialize. The break obviously can be a factor in differentiating between winning and losing. But I mean, the way that Fedor is playing right now, he's going to take some stopping.
He's got the cue ball on his string. His speed's perfect. His pattern play is next to none. Strikes the ball as good as anyone I've ever seen strike the ball.
And a break and run out to punctuate the 5-1 lead that he currently enjoys. Yeah, that front row over there of dignitaries, they're really being treated to quite a performance courtesy of Fedor GORST. He is orchestrating a symphony with that wand in his hand.
Shooting at that $60,000 prize money.
$250,000
Altogether.
in total. 60,000, the lion's share going to the winner, 40,000 to the runner-up, 20,000 to the losing semifinalists. So these guys playing with a lot of purpose that will be amply rewarded.
This is the biggest payday on U.S. soil. And now with the addition of the WPA Women's 9-ball event, the second one of 2 WPA World titles available here in the U.S. And the 3-ball is pain in the neck to both players. He's got a shot on the 1, but he's got to go through the 3.
Yeah, Denis just kind of raising his hand as if to say, seriously? You know, you parked me in my chair for about 15 minutes, you break, balls are sitting pretty, and now you break at nothing, and this is what I get?
Isn't that the feeling you get sometimes? Well, does he need to push out, or will he accept the jump shot?
Oh, he'll be pushing, George, especially with that one so near the side rail. And he's just asked for his extension. At 60 seconds following the break, each player allowed a 30-second extension during each rack, so Denis has just used his, and he's just finding that area that he wants to push the white.
Well, I don't think he has room to bank it. He does have room to come behind the balls where the cue ball is now, and he does have room to run to the bottom side of the table.
Beautifully controlled.
And he takes away the side rail. He takes away the top rail. Does he have a 2-rail go at this? He didn't take away the 3-rail kick. He has to come from behind it.
Well, he is not favored to hit this ball. That's not rocket science.
The This is the only way he can get there. Hitting right where too far. He didn't go far deep enough, actually. He had to hit just past the first diamond to get to that one ball.
And what a great safety that was from Fedor. You can place the cue ball, play the one into the side, the opposite side. Everything's in the open for him. 3 and 4. Just float the cue ball to leave that window between the 5 and the 9.
And again, nice speed to find the window you just called. And 3 balls, cue ball won't travel very much.
Draw back to play the 5 to the top left corner.
Fedor's looking about as strong as I've ever seen him play.
I'm sure impressed. And I've seen some performances on this main table. Most recently, Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz. He beat Jesus Atencio 8-2 last night in dominating fashion. I watched Shane Van Boning earlier today beat the Dutchman Mark Bijsterbosch 10-3. And again, powerful game.
And Bijsterbosch had him on the ropes in their first match. Coming straight back. Or he can go around the 8 and 9.
Everything he's doing is meticulous. He's controlling that white on a dime, always on the right line. You know what else is significant? He's never really, well, there's one of his very few mistakes. He's never had to force anything, but he just overran position by about maybe 4 to 6 inches there, and you can see his facial expression. For the first time, he's got to play a shot with a little higher degree of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if he decides to attack.
Yeah,
defending would be a piece of cake here too.
Oh.
Well, it's confirmed. He is human. But I mean, he's been so perfect with everything he's done, clinical. Like that one's got to be a difficult one for him to swallow right now because it surprised us.
And it's not one you would expect him to miss either. It's a nice clean cut down the rail, and he's exceptional at that shot. Well, this is what Denis needs to get right. He's trailing 1-5 and gets a 3-ball out handed to him. Now he's got to close it. Nicely done. Good position for the 10. And after losing 5 games in a row, it looks like this 10 drops for him, and he's on the board again.
Stop the bleeding, finally. 5-2 still to Fedor.
And John Lehman, our well-traveled head referee, goes all around the world with Predator in their opens. Austria, Germany, Puerto Rico. You were down in Puerto Rico.
Beautiful country, beautiful island. It's U.S. territory. So, but had a great time there. Sadly, though, George, I didn't get a chance to get around much. It was back and forth from the hotel to the convention center, but I can't wait to go back. It really beautiful.
Yeah. Look forward to being there one day.
Love the food, and it's as nice a venue as I've ever seen. And I have seen some nice venues.
I heard that. I heard that about it.
That's where Karim Belhaj calls home now.
Right.
Lives on that beautiful island of Puerto Rico.
Well, here's this 33-year-old Estonian breaking the balls. Nothing down yet, and he's hiding behind the 5 ball. So Fedor will push. 2 balls threatening the side pocket. Other than that, that was about it.
Push up, Paul.
Let's see where Fedor decides to push to. A little jump shot over the 2. Fedor, one of the best in the world at jumping balls. And Denis is no slouch, especially with his height. Makes it so easy for them. It's all ball fouled, so he's got to be careful with his hand, with his bridge.
Well, you could put him back in. Obviously, he might be aware of how well Fedor jumps too, and
he's going to give it back to him. I'm a little surprised. I thought Denis would take this. I would say he's 2 out of 3 to make this.
Extension, please.
Especially with the 3 ball being there. It might help if he goes haywire.
this is where a little yoga, some of those yoga classes help too. We'll try this at home, folks.
Nope. Well, good choice by Denis to put him back in, but the 2 ball rolls to a position where he's going to have to do something special to get to it. Risky to go after it.
Very risky.
He's got to come. He's got to come off the bottom rail and nibble the 10 out of the way. He doesn't have enough angle for that, I don't think. And if he catches the bottom side of the 2, it's ball in hand for Fedor.
Yes, sir.
He's playing safe. He's 2 rail into 1 and stopping it on the 7 ball. Smart shot.
Very, very smart shot. And a knowledgeable crowd acknowledging.
Yes, sir.
He's got his thinking cap on here.
Fedor with the 1 rail escape, possibly 2 off the head rail. Makes the hit, but both players trying to figure out what they're going to do with that 2 ball.
I can finally give you a bit of an update from the other match table going on right now. It's currently they've got 7 racks also in the books, and Aloysius Yap 4-3 ahead of Sanchez Ruiz.
And this is what they're trying to do, get ball in hand so they can position themselves to pocket the 1 and break out the deuce. And there's the ball in hand. Tough shot, tough hit.
Yes, sir.
And the 10-2 combo.
Yeah, 1-10-2.
I would just roll this and keep the cue ball right there. Make sure you hit that 10 ball square. He's lining up nice for it. He's not going to hit it square. And combo number 2. But it won't win him the rack.
Actually lined up pretty well, that shot.
Sure did.
He's played that nicely. This one, on the other hand, not so much. Total misjudgment there. Denis would like to have that shot over again, I promise you.
Start the clock, please.
Trying to find cover behind the 7. Didn't do it.
Yes, sir.
Fedor's not going to try to find cover. He's going to go for the bank.
Good news, bad news.
3. Yes, sir.
Got the bank. Won't be thrilled with where the cue ball is finished.
And the 8 ball blocks his 1 rail escape. Seems to, maybe not.
He might be able to change the angle.
Little
Play
bit.
bottom.
No, actually, it looks like it's natural.
Well, it's natural now for Denis, that's for sure. Fedor's kind of lost the handle on this one a little bit. I mean, if you think back to that one mistake on the 8 down the cushion where he was just short of position, and if he could have that shot back in, he was 5-1 and motoring. Well, now it looks like there's every chance it's going to go to 5-3.
Closing the gap. And Denis is one of those players that hangs around looking for an opportunity, and when he gets it, he usually takes it.
He's not quite as fundamentally sound as Fedor is, but he gets there. He gets the job done.
Well, he must. He had 2 Euro championships in a row. He's played in 8 Pro Billiard Series events, and he's cashed in 6 of them, 3rds and 5ths, and 1/17. 2 3rds, 3 5ths, and 1/17. So he's consistent, and he's at the top. A stop shot, and closes it out to a 3, closes the deficit by 1.
You see that little bit of movement there. It's a little anxiety, and I mean nerves, and who'd begrudge him being a little nervous. It is the quarterfinals of the World 10 ball, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
10 down, 5-3 confirmed. So Denis, Fedor treating us to a real match here. And we're going to go for a quick 2-minute break, folks, and we'll be right back. And a very warm welcome back. We're in Las Vegas. We're at the Rio. It is the World 10-Ball Championships, brought to you by CSI and Predator. And finally poised here, 5-3 in favor of Fedor GORST, but he has been tested. And I'm very, very happy and honored to be welcomed in the comm box. Joe Rogan, welcome, Joe. We saw you on the front row there, but you somehow found your way back here.
Yeah, they brought me back here, but I'm excited to be here too. I was really excited because I'm in town to do commentary for the UFC, and I talked to Fedor, and he was telling me that they had this pool tournament here as well. So I was really excited that I was going to get to come over here, and I didn't expect to do commentary, but I'm happy to do that too.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Well, it's certainly the way that Fedor has been playing. We were talking earlier, it was 5-1 motoring, missed that 1-8 down the cushion, and boy, things have turned on him, haven't they?
Yeah, well, that's how it goes, right? He got weird on that 8, and I was sitting next to Mika Immonen, and we were watching it, and look at this. And then when it rains, it pours, because it doesn't look like he has a clear path to the 2.
No, and the pool gods can be very fickle, no doubt about that.
I kind of like how predictable that is. That when balls are rolling in your favor, they're rolling in your favor, and when they're not, they're not. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what the discipline is, that holds true. But Fedor's got a chance here. It might be a jump kick. Just jump over the edge of the 10 and get to that cushion. A chance at the 2. And he jumps very well.
You mean, are you saying like a jump kick to make it, like go one rail?
Jump kick, jump into the cushion. I don't think he can get over both the 10 and the 8.
No. I was thinking if you were saying jump and play one rail.
No, it's just
which is a crazy shot.
Just a kick shot now, but.
Yucks.
Yeah, it's turned on him, this one.
It's so interesting how that happens. Because we were commenting in the beginning of the match when he was flowing and rolling, and it was nice and smooth and beautiful, and then one shot on the 8 and everything is turned.
Yeah, he was playing at a level that I was talking about with George Teachea, and I mean, he was going to take some beating the way he was playing.
Well, his stroke is so smooth and his mechanics are so smooth. It's really fascinating to watch because I don't think anybody plays with that same exact smoothness that he does. It's very distinctive. I got a chance to play him in my studio. We have a couple very tight tables at my studio, and we played, and it was torture. It was really torture just watching him run out. I have a 4-inch pocket table and a 4.5-inch pocket table, or a 4 1/4-inch pocket table, rather. And he was just running out like a top.
Well, I've got a beer bet with a couple of the guys down here. We each took 2 players. One of mine was Fedor, so.
It's a good bet. It's a good bet. But who knows? That's, again, one of the beautiful things about pool is how it rolls.
This has got to hurry.
Oh, that's not good at all.
One thing I've noticed with this table, I've done a lot of matches on table 1, and when players have run short, that's what's killed them. They just haven't got the speed down.
You attribute that to the heat from the lights?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's a drier day, so you can't say anything about the climate. They've got the air conditioning turned up in here.
Well, this could be the break that Fedor needs. He's got, well, not much.
That was a good hit from Denis, and he hasn't left anything easy.
Yeah. The question is, does he try to cut this down the rail, or does he play safe?
This is all one of those, how you feeling?
I think he just pointed. I think he's cutting it down the rail. Oh, he's banking at the side. Oh, very nice. Beautiful shot. Wow.
Totally unfazed. What a shot that is, and what a knowledgeable crowd we've got here too. They understand the enormity of that because Denis was coming back at him.
I went to watch the Texas Open last week at Skinny Bob's in Austin, Texas. And I got a chance to see Fedor play there, and my goodness. It was just, this stroke that he has is, it's so beautiful, and it's such a great stroke to emulate. You know, one of the nice things about pool today is there's so much content available online. You can watch so many elite players. I mean, when I was a kid, it was just AccuStats. That's all you could get is those VHS tapes. But now, anytime you want on your phone, you can watch world-class players. And if you wanted to emulate a stroke, I really don't think you could do any better than this gentleman.
Well, these guys have become athletes too. They have elevated the game. They're getting better, younger, and they have definitely raised the bar. 6-3. Fedor back into the comfort zone. It's a race to 10, remember?
Yeah, he might be the best 22-year-old ever. That's pretty young to be that seasoned and that smooth and hard to rattle.
Well, and you know something, it's also important. He's one of the most successful players right now that is playing the game. Both he and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, who's dominated pool globally. But as Denis looks on, and he knows he's got a tiger by the tail. But for me, Fedor, he's got the makeup. That he's almost intimidating, just the way that he goes about things. And if you, like you said, if you ever want to find someone to emulate, you don't go too far wrong with this man. And at 22 years of age, where's his future?
It's incredible. I mean, he's nowhere near his prime. And one of the very best in the world.
A scary thought, Joe.
We were talking in the stands, and I was saying I would have loved to have seen Fedor in his prime versus Keith McCready in his prime. Just a stark contrast in playing styles and personalities.
Yeah, Keith.
Now, this is interesting, right? So he's got the small pocket in the corner. Kind of a funny position here. Like, does he play for the 3-8? The 8, or does he try to? Yeah, he has to, right? Because the 5 ball's down the other corner.
If he's in attack mode, the 3-8 is really the only way to progress.
Unless he decides to bump.
He's got the angle, but
yeah. Oh, he didn't even punch over a lot. 8 ball.
Okay, this is a big combination, and this could lay the foundation for this rack too. If he gets it, he'll have it at its mercy. But it's missable. And again, the pressure of a quarterfinal, a world title quarterfinal.
The good news, he can slow roll it, and he's pretty much assured position on the 3 ball if he makes the 8. And that's it. Very nice.
He also strikes me like the sort of young man that there'll be no celebrating. He wants the title.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very emotionless when he plays, very calm. It's such a solid stance and bridge. It's like everything's just so smooth. Look at that position.
Yeah, he's another one of those players that he can make the game look much easier than it is, I promise you. Especially with pockets as tight as the table you described.
Yeah.
A little straighter than ideal, but you can punch this over, and the 5 from the 5 to the 6. Does nothing in hurry. He's very measured in his approach and everything that he does. And that in itself can be intimidating.
It's intimidating because you know if you miss, you're stuck in the chair for quite a long time. And you're going to watch these games get racked up. And also shots like errors, like the error on that 8 ball, they're not very frequent.
Yeah, you try to hunt down players like Fedor when they're in form, and you feel like you're bear hunting with a butter knife.
So this is an interesting shot, right? Is he just going to go one rail, or is he going to go all the way around? All the way around.
Always a sign of confidence, too, when a player's not afraid to let that cue ball out.
Yeah. That's a beautiful shot. He just punched that out for the 9 on the side, 10 on the side.
I'm marking it down, Joe.
Mark it down. 7-3.
And Denis in his chair, wondering if he's going to get another opportunity anytime soon. Fans really being treated here. $250,000 up for grabs, total purse, $60,000 going to the eventual winner, $40,000 to the runner-up. So pretty good week's work for some of these guys.
That's a great payday for this.
Unprecedented, Joe. $60,000 to the winner.
Very nice. I'm so happy that that's happening. You know, I just think it's a really exciting time for pool, because pool has gone through these stages where it's been stagnant. It's hard to get excited about the game, and people drift off because they just don't see any future where they can really make a good living. When you find out people making $60,000 to win a tournament like this, like, it gets people excited again.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
You know, people ask me in all of my travels all the time, what's holding this game back? Because these guys are athletes. I mean, they're starting to show that they've raised the bar, they've elevated the way this game is viewed. I mean, tens of thousands are tuning in, watching them when they play now. This particular match, I wouldn't know what the numbers are, but I'd wager the viewership numbers are well into the thousands.
Well, the Rio is packed too. It's crazy looking at how many tables are running simultaneously. Dry break. And does he get lucky? Nope.
No, he's left a chance at the one. But again, and you noted, Denis has been in his chair. You know, how easy is it when you've been parked in your chair for about 10, 15 minutes? Now you've got to come out and produce the goods. Just not that easy.
And kind of funky to get. Oh, he played safe. And he didn't get there. Did he? Yeah, looks like he might have got an edge.
It's close, but I'll tell you what he did do is he just feathered that 2 to open it up.
Well, the 2 was available in the corner. It was just a tight window between the 4 and the 8.
It's definitely available now between the 4 and the 8.
So he's got a little bit of an edge here.
Jumping over the edge of the 8.
Oh boy. He might hit it and get safe. Nope. Wide open. Not good.
No.
That was the question on that shot. It was like, do you jump that shot to try to make it? And clearly he did. Or do you jump it to try to play safe?
Yeah, I think he was going full throttle to try and knock that one in.
Yeah.
And why not?
Jeremy Jones just stopped by. Good to see you, man. Just handed me a note. I was like, what does that say? It's like, oh, it's Jeremy Jones.
Double J, another one that, just a host of class players all around us. And I still don't think Jeremy is too old to be playing in these events. He probably does, but.
Well, look at Earl. Still playing good in his 60s.
Yeah, there you go.
Not good, great. Still playing great in the 60s. I really enjoy his commentary, too.
Yeah, I've heard it a few times. You know what? I like Earl.
He does it solo, and, he's got some great insight into position play and why he makes certain decisions. So does that 7 go by the 9?
No. So if he wants to continue, he's looking at a 7-9. That's fraught with danger, that combination.
Yeah, that's a tricky shot. Unless he tries to slide. Oh, yeah, that's what he's doing. Wow. So he got an angle out.
And this might be born of how well Fedor is playing. He feels like he maybe has to throw caution to the wind. If he's going to beat a player like Fedor in the form that Fedor is showing him, he's got to take chances like this. And he's got to make him pay.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that shot didn't even look easy from the commentary box.
No, it looked real tough. Those off-angle shots like that with a combination on a tight table, it's like you have no room for error.
Well, Dennis, you may be spending a little bit more time in that chair, so hope you got an iron. You may be getting your pants pressed next time you get out. Pretty straight on this 8. You'd like to just cheat the pocket a little bit and get a little closer to that 9.
Yeah, I think the way I'm looking at it, he could follow this ball with right and just come down and stop where the 9 is. And he's good to go. Pop it out a little bit.
You do talk like a pool player, Joe.
Oh, I play pool. I try to play almost every day. I have a pool table at my house, and I have 2 tables at my podcast studio.
And
very nice.
8-3 confirmed. Fedor GORST.
Denis got to be kicking himself on that because the way he played the 6 to get position on the 6, if he had a different angle, I mean, at least could have given him a chance other than that 7-9 combination. That's just such a tricky combination.
Yeah, he left himself where he had no choice. Well, I mean, he probably could have played safe, but what he's seeing from Fedor GORST, he feels like he's got to throw caution to the wind, and didn't work for him there. John Lehman getting the rack together again, and Fedor will be looking to take it apart.
How are these guys feeling about a traditional rack versus a magic rack? What's the consensus?
Good question. I haven't really gone out to ask them. I think, again, the Aero rack, a sponsored rack from Predator, But the magic rack is it almost gives a perfect rack every time. Well, that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So maybe too easy to make balls or to figure out how to hit it to make balls? That is a good question.
You know, because there's some tournaments they'll eliminate the soft rack, and that would drive me crazy because guys would make balls, like sometimes make 2 balls, and it would be an illegal rack or an illegal break because they didn't get enough balls past it. Oh, 10 ball. Too bad that doesn't count.
No, and does it spot to take the 1 away?
No. No. They're not showing us.
If that 10 spots.
Oh, it does take the 1 away. It does take the 1 away. That's brutal. That's brutal. Oh. So what does he do here? It looks like he's going to play safe. So do you think he crosses the 1 over the top and tries to put it behind the 7?
Exactly right, Joe. That would be my call. Just about a half ball hit. It's all speed.
Yeah. And that's a good shot too because you've got the 10, you got the 8, you got a lot of things that could potentially get in the way.
Just back up the middle of the table. Again, he doesn't have a lot of options, but speed on the white is everything.
Yeah. Nicely done. Beautiful. What a shot. What a shot. Really too close for a jump.
And the 9 means the kick from that end of the table isn't there. Boy, this is a safety that is going to buy him some, it's going to pay some dividends, this one. Yeah, I don't blame you, Dennis. This is going to take a little time and some thinking.
Yeah, and it's not like he can tie up balls here either.
This is where we need a telestrator, Joe. We don't have it, but it almost looks like the angle just before the side pocket. If he can straighten the cue ball out, is he going to try and bend? No, he's
tying balls up. Ooh, that's not good. That's not going to work.
Didn't accomplish it.
Yeah, it's too banking it into the rail and trying to tie it up, get it perfectly on the 5. Too many things can go wrong.
It's just
especially when your arm is tight and you screwed up on that 7-9 combination.
And that's just how good the safety was from Fedor.
Yeah.
The 4 is in the open, the ball that Denis tried to tie up.
I haven't played on one of these Predator tables, but it seems like a real good compromise between a tight table but not too deep of a shelf, so if the ball gets in there, it goes. But you got to hit it right.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good observation. Like they're forgiving to a point.
But you got to hit it right.
But you got to hit it good.
So he's going to come 1 rail here, down towards the 10, it seems like, for the 4 on the side. Yeah. Perfect. Oh.
Maybe just marginally short of what would have been ideal, but still not bad. Looks like he can still snick this into the side pocket.
Right, so do you think he plays this slow and tries to run the 5 down the corner, or do you think he goes 3 rails? Can he go 3 rails and not run into traffic?
Well, I could even see him trying to check this and just straighten the cue ball out for the 5 into the same pocket.
Because the 7 ball's big here, right? If he tries to go 3 rails?
Just check it with the left-hand spin.
Gentle, there it is. Nice. Very nice. Beautiful shot.
And again, folks, when you see players and they're leaving that center line on the cue ball, they've just increased the degree of difficulty in the shot 5-fold. So the top players have no problem spinning the white. The amateurs, Little different story. And he's going to be breaking. This is going to get him to the hill. And there's no reason he shouldn't get out here.
I had Fedor on my podcast. He's the first pool player I've ever had on. And it's just such a fascinating story, this young man's life. 22 years old, one of the absolute best players in the world, was hustling people at 13. And so dedicated to the game. And now living in America and developing this huge fan base based on this incredible precision style of play.
Well, he strikes me like he's a practice nut too. Probably can't get him off the table.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. And it's probably very systematic practice too. Look at that. I like that shot because that's showing you that he's comfortable. He didn't try to hold it there. Went all the way down to the end rail. But everything is so technical. Like he's not guessing. You know, he knows how these balls are going to react. He knows where he's going. And he's on the hill.
Well, right now, it's looking very much like he's going into the semifinals. And we're going to have a quick 1-minute break, folks. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Great to have you back. Fedor GORST on the hill. And again, if you're just joining us, I'm over the moon to welcome Joe Rogan into the comm with me. I can hear the passion in his voice, and I'll tell you what, he's pretty astute as an analyst as well.
I really love pool. It's one of my main obsessions. If you catch me alone on my phone, most of the time I'm watching pool matches. And he goes and gets, yep, look at this. Very nice. Clean shot on the 1, good position for the 2.
Maybe the beginning of the end.
Yeah, I'm going to make a prediction. I don't see any problems here at all except the 5 ball. The only thing that could mess him up here is getting on the wrong side of the 5 ball if the 5 ball doesn't go by the 8. It looks like it does, though.
Yeah, Denis is looking on.
Yeah, it looks like it goes by. It's close, though, right?
Yeah, it's tight. It's real tight.
That's the only problem in this rack. Because once he gets good on this 3 ball here after this 1 ball. Oh, no! Who saw that coming? Oh, and got lucky. Miscue and got lucky.
Yeah, I think if you look at Denis GRABE's face now, he's going to come to the table and he's going to say, "Are you kidding me?"
He's going to be sick. He's going to be sick because it's really like a very nice save. Okay, so now he runs the risk of jumping and bouncing off the table because he's jumping so close to the rail.
Exactly right.
Ooh. Oh, he got lucky too. Nice. All right, now things are weird.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would begrudge Denis getting a bit of a roll here.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like he barely, so he's got to kick at this from behind. And he's got to kick at it and hope not to leave.
Attention, please.
I mean, it's not like he's going to leave a 1-5 combo that's easy, but this is a tricky spot.
I'll tell you what, that look on Denis's face in the chair, that's born of a 9-3 deficit that he faces.
Yeah.
He just doesn't see any light at the end of the tunnel, does he?
Well, he's playing a robot. You know, like Fedor just he keeps getting out. If it wasn't for that missed cue and that missed 8-ball, you wouldn't think he was human. So he's calling the 1-ball.
Off the 8.
Yeah. Okay, now that might sell out. Well, Denis has a chance now. Now, this is great for Denis because you think about that last rack. Like, as he broke, he's got this clean shot on the 1-ball. Who would have ever expected him to miscue? Good position. Look at what is going on. He just miscued too. How often does that happen? Look at this. This is crazy.
Yeah, I haven't seen 2 miscues from players of this ilk.
That is wild. Maybe it's me. Maybe I've jinxed them.
He's called the corner.
Oh, safety. Got lucky.
Great shot.
Yeah.
Great hit, great result. And you really have to start feeling for poor Denis.
Oh, look at that, though.
Maybe not just yet.
Not just yet. Okay. Now, if he could just loosen up here now and get focused. He's got a shot at the 3. Oh, he played safe. Very nice.
Denis hasn't had many shots that are hitting the highlight reel, but that's one.
So Fedor looks like he's going to go 3 rails and either try to bank it into the upper left-hand corner or behind it. I'm not sure what angle he's playing here. He was trying to go behind it.
You'd be quite happy with that result, though.
Yeah. Well, at least Denis has a shot at it. And he's got that 4-ball all the way down near that corner pocket at the other end of the table. Like, he might just play this. And you know, there's that give-up stroke that guys get. Look at that. Oh, he didn't want that.
That is sick.
You know that give-up stroke where you know you're losing and all of a sudden your arm gets loose? Look at this. This is a beautiful shot.
Yeah, I was quite familiar with that in my prime.
Oh, he missed it. Wow. Ball in hand. All right. Now Fedor's probably chalked his cue for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There will be no more miscues.
No, there'll be no more miscues. I think that one is going to seal Denis GRABE's fate. And with ball in hand,
Yeah, this should be it.
yeah, you don't get many indoor earthquakes unless they're Keith McCready, of course.
What do you think about contrast of styles? How wild would that have been to watch this guy in his prime play McCready in his prime?
It would have been interesting because Keith was a rare talent as well.
Rare talent, amazing player. I mean, there's some incredible videos of him. I really truly believe, though, that the players of today are the best players ever.
Like anything else, Joe, I mean, they've gotten better, younger in every sport.
They've gotten better, younger, and they have more access to watching great players, which I think is huge. I learned a lot watching AccuStats tapes, watching Buddy Hall's position play and Mike Siegel and Earl and Johnny Archer. But these guys, I mean, they have so much access to it, and they have access to so many drills. There's so much content that a young pool player can use to enrich their game today.
You know, I did so many Moscone Cups from the very outset, and I watched Europe gradually overhaul America to a point where America had no chance anymore. Now America's starting to come back a little bit again. And the Europeans, they showed them what this can be like when it's treated like a sport.
Yes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, a little wayward with the cue ball there.
Things get a little squirrely here now because he's got a lot of moving to do here. This is an interesting shot. Does he have an extension left?
Well, we might find out.
Yeah, I don't know if he has. I don't think he does.
But he can cue at this. He can force follow this off 2 cushions.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Quick look to see if the 10 is touching the cushion. That changes how he acts and how he presents it. Now, for the match, he'll gather all his focus, all his concentration. He wants one more shot. Wants to bury this 10 and end Denis's hopes.
Beautiful.
It's there. Clinical, as always, Fedor GORST, and he is through to the semifinals. He'll hit that pillow hard tonight, get a good rest. Still a lot of pool in store for him. This 10, over and out for Fedor GORST. Great match, great win. In the end, 10-3. And Joe Rogan, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much. It was a lot of fun, Jim.
It was tremendous. Again, I'm Jim White. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with a lot more pool action coming your way tonight. Stay with us, folks.